Okay. We're live again. Or I'm live again. I'm not sure how you're supposed to say that. So, as you can see from the name of this live stream, I'm going to discuss the Samsung S21. I've kind of touched upon it a little bit. You know, there was a live stream about this yesterday and I watched a little bit. I can't focus on these live streams. Hey Ultra, good to see you. So the live stream for the Samsung S21, well there's three phones for the range. It was all yesterday. I think it was was it 3 o'clock UK time? So I dipped my feet into it a few times, but these conferences, they're so long. They're so unnecessarily long for no reason. They stretch out something which you could describe in 5 minutes into like 2 hours. So I had a look at it and then I checked the specs, etc., like the 120Hz screen. So I've got a general understanding of what the phones are like, but I don't have a full understanding. So what I'd like to do today is kind of go over it and we'll have a look at all three phones. So as far as all three phones go, just to clarify, the phones are the Galaxy S21 5G. They've got it back to front here. This is the cheapest model. Then it goes to the S21 Plus and then it goes to the S21 Ultra. And they're all 5G. So that's what I'd like to do in this video, guys. It's obviously been a big week for tech. We saw a lot of big announcements from Intel and from AMD as well. And again, I kind of touched upon what was going on there. I saw that AMD are releasing some high-end mobile processors for laptops. And NVIDIA, for example, they have said that the 3080 Ti graphics card doesn't look to be coming out. Which to me isn't a surprise. There wasn't a huge gap between the 3080 and 3090 anyway. But it looks like that's not coming out, but they did release a 3060. So there's a lot of stuff coming out in the computing world. But I've talked a lot about computers recently, and I'm doing some videos about computers again over the next week. So why not talk about mobile phones? So I'd like to talk about the Samsung S21 and all that. And as I said, some of this I'm going to be learning myself because I've only kind of touched upon it yesterday and just watched a video or two about it. My mum is planning to upgrade to the S20 or S20 Plus, and I'm going to try and force her to upgrade to S21 Plus. Nice one. Well, actually myself, I had a look at it and we could talk about prices, but if I remember right, the S21 5G is going to be £769 in the UK, for the 128GB version, and then £820 for the 256, which is kind of what they're defaulting to because they offer 512 as well, I believe. Well, I'll check all that. So it's like that, and then it's like another 100 or so for the Plus version. And obviously you get the bigger screen, you get the bigger battery. I actually think it's a worthwhile upgrade. I think a lot of people might opt for the smaller one just because they like a smaller phone, but I'm kind of used to these bigger 6.8-inch style phones now, and I do like the improved battery life as well. So yeah, it looks like it's like roughly 800, 900, and then it jumps to like 1100. I think it's like £1,200 for the Ultra, which has got like an additional telephoto camera and different things like that. It's got a bit of selfie camera as well. It's like 40 megapixels. The specs look really impressive from a video recording point of view. The cameras look excellent. And to be honest, I can't remember the last time Samsung released a flagship. Now, they released a flagship really early on in the year. And if I recall, they normally release it about February, March. But this is getting released, I think, 29th of January. These phones are coming out. And even towards the end of the year, these Samsung phones always have one of the best cameras. Throughout the year, you will see a lot of phones coming out that kind of build upon what other companies have done. But I think that Samsung, even at the end of the year, they're normally in the top three, either with their S, 9, 10, 20, etc. They're either kind of at the top or they're thereabouts at the top. They're either the best or one of the best. I would say, objectively. And it looks like they've come out with another winner this year as well. Yeah, I'm sure last year, I think by recollection, they normally do it in the second month and then release a phone in the third month. And then later on in the year, you start to see, I think they released their A range a little bit later in the year, which is normally the range that has the Snapdragon CPU. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, okay, I'll do today's sponsor is, what is this? Innocent Raisin Shine. No, it's not. It's water, but what I've been doing recently is I've been buying bottles of water, and I normally buy those like little half-litre bottles of water, but they just scrunch up so quickly, and they honestly last me about 2 weeks. So I've just started filling up fruit juice bottles with water because the bottles are actually better. And you sometimes get a little bit of a fruity taste there. Right. Right, so someone always asks me, are you going to buy this phone whenever I cover a phone? And in comparison to a lot of YouTubers who talk about phones, I don't always buy the phones that I talk about, simply because I don't have the budget for it. And most of the time when I buy anything really, like nearly everything that I buy is functional. It's something to improve my video recording, or it's a phone that I need, or it's whatever. I normally change my phone twice a year. If you go, by what I've done the last few years, maybe 3 times a year. But as far as me buying the Samsung S21, probably not. But one of the reasons I'm not considering it is because my wife likes Samsung phones. She's got the S9 or 10. I'm not sure which one it is, but she's got one of the Samsung phones and she's due an upgrade, and she's already spoke about, those look nice. So I suspect she's going to get one of these phones. So I should be able to cover this phone simply because my wife's going to get it. Maybe not a full review, but at least I'll be able to do a video looking at it, etc. If there's a few people watching, like yourself, Ultra, I can jump ahead and we can have a look. I don't want to do a 2-hour live stream today, actually, because I've got I've got another video I want to do today, an unboxing, which then I need to edit and schedule it for a few days. So let's jump into it. So this is the official specifications page, and I've kind of done it back to front because I didn't realize it was back to front before. I don't know if you can move these around now. I guess we could. This makes more sense to me, having the cheapest one at the left. But so I mean, we could look at let's look at the features page first, right? Let's look at the features page. So here we go. The Galaxy S21 5G and S21 Plus 5G. Now this doesn't show you the Ultra. It looks like they've got a dedicated page for the Ultra, which S21 on, yes, Ultra. I'll get that ready. I'll get that ready for us. Let's see. It's going to take us to this page that I'm already on. No. Just take me to, see, that's going, why is this defaulting to I can't seem to find the Ultra page. I can't, where's the Ultra listing page? It seemed to just default to the page that shows you, I don't know. Like, we'll check that just now. Hey Sam, good to see you. Yeah, I'm good, man, I'm good. Today's actually, this is kind of off topic, guys, completely off topic, but today's the day actually my house sale went through, my old house. Which is why this stream's so late, actually. I had planned to do this video, this live stream today about 12 o'clock. And I'd planned to do it earlier on, but then I was editing a video, and then I was speaking to the solicitor, and then I was speaking to the solicitor again, and then, you have to confirm details with the payment going through and all this. So I've been messing about with things like that today. That's why the stream is about 4 hours too late, but there we go. But yeah, all good. I'm all good, Sam. Good to see you again. So this is the Samsung S21, and there's a lot of different colours depending on which model you go for. So let's talk about the design. Kind of pin drop or teardrop, or I guess you call it pin drop, camera for the selfie camera. I like where they've put the position. So I've got the Mi 10T Plus here, Mi 10T Pro. Sorry, I've got the phone wrong. The Mi 10T Pro is here, and this is a similar style of camera for the front selfie camera, which you can kind of see here, this side. Now, what I would say about that is I don't like it being at one end. It makes it it makes more sense to have it right here in the middle, because what happens is you do that for a selfie and your eyes kind of gravitate towards the middle of the screen. So it's either at the bottom there or it's the top there. It just makes more sense to be in the middle. So I suspect that was because of some sort of production reason, you know, some sort of punch hole. That's the word I was looking for, Saucy. That was the word I was looking for. I was saying teardrop, I was saying pinhole. Yeah, I got there in the end, Sam. That's it, punch hole. I knew there was a term, I could not think of that there. Yes, I got there in the end. I got there in the end. So, as far as you've got that punch hole camera on the front, right? And you've got the camera design in the back. I really like the design here. I think, and the reason I like it, the reason I like this design, and you know, it's kind of funky here with the two contrast colors. And I realize this isn't going to be everyone's taste. Whenever a company does anything that's remotely different, some people love it, some people go, I don't like it. But I would say for the most part, for 2 years, we have had back camera designs like this. Where you've kind of got like a panel like this, and it's, you know, just black with the lenses on it. And they've made it a little bit stylish. They've made it a little bit better, in my opinion. Well, I mean, it's one of those things, you know, really what's important here, features, functionality, that's important. But when you're spending $1,000 on a phone, you do want it to look nice as well. And in my opinion, that looks nice, in my opinion. Simon, hope you're enjoying your new Xiaomi phone, mate. I'm loving the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra, but having connection problems without having band 20. Oh, I never even thought about that. Yeah, that's a good point. That's something you always have to check if you're buying from China. It does look like a good phone, the Ultra. The other thing would be to try a different network or something like that. I'm actually, like, with regards to this phone, I am going to do a video about this, which I did have. I know I'm going off topic here, guys, but I am going to do a video about this next week. I was hoping to do it this week. The reason I didn't do it was I was waiting till I got this microphone. I've actually got a new microphone here. I'm not sure if you can hear the difference in quality, but I've recorded the video about it, unboxed it, and did the audio test, and that's coming next week. I know everyone doesn't like microphone videos, but I decided to do that. This video, in comparison to the previous mic, the one I've got up there is shorter, but it should have less reverb, less echoes. So let me know what you think about the audio, guys, if it's too loud, too quiet, if it's, you know, less echoes than before. Right, I'm going to stop being off topic and get back on topic about the Samsung Galaxy S21. So, design, iconic new design with a contour cut, camera design, contour cut. New ways of expression with photo and video, 5G, pre-order. Yeah, so right now they're giving, I mean, we can examine this later, but right now they're offering like the Galaxy Pro Buds, like the earphone buds, and there's some other deals going out there as well if you order this in advance. So you can see here the Galaxy Bud Lives. I think you get the earphones, but they're also offering like 4 months of YouTube Premium as well. So you won't have to watch any adverts when you're, you know, looking at YouTube videos, etc. So if you pre-order, you will get that. So this is it here. So the S21 Plus is 6.7 inch. The regular S21 is 6.2. The Ultra is 6.8, which you'll be able to see here in a second. Quite a difference in the phones when you see them, you know, size-wise. And like I was saying, I'd probably gravitate towards the larger one because of the battery as well. Hi, Florida Sins. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Let me see. Right, so they've got violet. We've got silver. That's really nice, actually. And then we've got bold and black. They're all really nice colours, actually. I'd be happy with any of them. Actually, I mean, the violet, I don't know, it's quite feminine, I guess. You know, quite a lighter violet, but it's quite nice. It's quite nice with the contrast with the kind of copper gold. Those are all nice colours. Those are all, yeah, those are all nice. I like those. Total Eye, Candy, Gorilla Glass Victus. I'm just scrolling through this, guys, just to show you all. So it can do 8K video. The selfie camera as well can do 4K at 60. And I've spoke about this before. Nearly all the, you know, certainly up until 2020, all of the Android phones that I've reviewed, they all did 1080p 30. And then at the back, you know, 1080p 30 at the front camera. And then at the back, you could only do, you could do 4K. Or even 8K. This can do 8K, but at the front you could only do 1080p. This is bucking that trend and it's offering 4K at 60, so that's good to see. 8K video snap. You get an album of high quality pics right out of every video. That's pretty cool. So yeah, the camera looks good. So it's got a 120Hz screen as well. Okay, cameras. 12 megapixels for the ultra wide camera, 12 megapixels for the wide angle, and 64 for telephoto. Now bear in mind the ultra is different. That's got a 108, I believe, and it's got 2 cameras for the telephoto. Yeah, man, you need to scroll through a lot of this stuff because a lot of it is just all about the camera, which I'm happy to talk about the camera, but a lot of this is just marketing. Super fast charging, fast wireless charging, which is all good. 8 gigabytes of RAM. Right, so this is making it a nightmare. Water resistant, right, that's good. So this is what I hate about these sales pages. There's just too much crap on them. There's too much. There's way too much. You know, just give me a specs page. I'm all for marketing, but just show me the specs. Show me the money. Looks a lot better not having a massive microphone hiding you, taking up most of the scene. Yes, so I'll go back off topic for a second, Sam, for you. I'll blame you. Yeah, so in the review that I've did of this camera up here, I mean, it's smaller, which you'll see. Can you see this just now? Do I have my webcam set up? Do I have my webcam? Yay! So there it's there, guys. There's a very crude look at it. This is the microphone here. Should you hear that? It's a very short microphone. It's only like that size. It's really small, in comparison to this big beast. So it's quite small. It just sits above me, and it should have less reverb because it's not designed to pick up a lot of the outdoor kind of background noise. That's what I'm hoping for, anyway. So I'll catch up with some of the comments here. S1 Ultra in Phantom Black looks amazing. Yeah. Like, they all look good, actually. Samsung tags looks interesting. Yeah, I saw that you get a tag. One of the deals was you get you get a live tag thing, this Samsung tag, you get the earbuds, and you get YouTube Premium. Hey Fester, hey Hugh. Don't know if you remember me from a comment. I ended up ordering a Rode Pod mic. Ah, nice. Those look good. Those are the ones that are like £100. Those reviews are really positive. Ah, nice, Hugh. So Hugh's just got his 3090. Good man. God, you'll be getting good frames per second with that. Right, so I'm on the specs now. I'm on the specs comparison page. I'm still kind of perplexed by the way that they've designed this, by the most expensive on the left, but here we go. So we've got the S21 Ultra 5G here, which only comes in Phantom Black or Phantom Silver. The Violet only seems to be available in the Plus and the regular S21. I missed these, the Phantom Titanium colours. So I didn't notice that before, actually. I apologise. There seems to be a couple of exclusive colours if you order directly from Samsung. So there's like a Phantom Brown, Phantom Navy, Phantom Titanium, and Phantom... They're calling that Phantom Gold. That's pink to me. Or Rose Gold, I guess. Phantom Red. I don't think the red goes with that. But anyway, I think silver's nice there. But anyway, let's forget about the colours for a second. Let's get to the nitty gritty. So if you look at the S21 Ultra, you can see that's 6.8 inches, but it's got a Quad HD screen. So that's obviously got a higher resolution. You've got the weight there. It's not much heavier. It's interesting seeing, this is obviously heavier. It's obviously heavier than the 6.2 inch version because it's bigger, but there's not much of a weight difference here between... there is a weight difference, sorry. Talking back to front. With only like a 0.1 inch difference in the screen size, it's 27 grams heavier. That's quite a big bit. And the battery size is only like 200 milliamps more. Anyway, ultrasonic fingerprint. So let's go on here. 120 Hz for the screen. So this one, it seems to have a variable hertz display from 10 to 120. The other ones are 48 to 120. I'm not sure why that would be used like that. Maybe there's some feature of missing. Maybe there's a feature for that because normally, like with a phone, this has got 144 hertz actually. This is really good. But I think the lowest it goes down is 60, so it's perhaps 60 to 144. But this is 48 to 120. But this one seems to be 10. There must be a reason for that. There's maybe some sort of power saving mode. Gorilla Glass Victus, it's waterproof, 40 megapixel selfie camera. And the other difference here is it's got a 108 megapixel wide angle camera, where it's 12 here. And then the telephoto, you've got two 10 megapixel cameras instead of one 64 megapixel sensor, 100 times zoom. See, I don't know what your guys' opinion is of the zoom in cameras. Generally speaking, even with these, this has got a really good zoom actually, but like anything over like 5-10 times zoom, it's almost unusable. It's just blurry crap. It's just, I mean, I realize it's a cool feature to have, etc. But as far as actually using a zoom for video recording and even photos, etc., it's good up to a certain point, like up to like 5 times magnification, and it's really, really useful. But then after that, it's just a blurry, grainy mess. And it's one of those things, because obviously I'm sitting here, I've not tested this phone yet. But when you look at specs, it's easy to kind of get lost in the specifications and go, wow, 100 times zoom. But how usable is that zoom? I would take a high quality, crisp 10 times zoom over 100 times, which isn't. So, don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, in the reviews, etc. Does the Focusrite Scarlett have software you can download and mess with the EQ? I suspect there is something for it, but what you want to look for, Fester, is a VST plugin. And there's a few ways you can go through that, Fester. So I don't have any. Can I show you this just now? What's the easiest way to show you this just now? I know this is off topic, but yeah, look for I'll just type this directly to Fester. HL, Samsung is not upgrading its charging speeds. 25 watt charging in 2021 is slow. We see 50 watts and 65 watts with other brands. I've still to check that actually. So I'm going to scroll down at the bottom of the page here. And right, so that's a good topic. We'll jump ahead to that because that's a really good topic to bring up, HL. So I've got the speeds here. I've kind of got it the opposite direction here. I've got the S21 here and then S21 Plus and then the Ultra. So the cheapest option is 4,000 milliamps for the battery and it's got 25 watt charging. And then it goes to 4,800 milliamps for the battery and 5,000, but those have got 25 watt charging as well. I do like the reverse wireless charging and the wireless charging features. It's, I'd still, tend to use the cable. That's what I'm trying to click here. That's the charging cable. I still prefer to use the cable just because it's quicker, but it's always good to have wireless charging, to have more wireless charging modes. But I 100% agree with HL here. 25 watts is not enough, I would say, for a 5,000 milliamp battery. Well, it's one of the things. I think it's maybe only 33 watts with this one, and charging does seem okay. But I don't know. I mean, I would like to have seen a faster charger myself as well. The thing is, there's pros and cons to fast charging, right? Because what Realme did last year, when I had that phone that had the 5,000 milliamp battery, they had 65 watt charging, and how they did that was split the battery into two. So when you got 65 watt charging, you were effectively charging two batteries, two separate phone batteries, one at 32.5 watts and another at 32.5 watts, something like that, where both of them are charging up like that, so you're getting 65 watt charging, but you're kind of splitting the difference and doing it between two batteries rather than one big battery. I think that's how the Realme did it, and I think that's how other phone companies have got around it as well, because if you did actually charge at 65 watts, which is more than some laptops, you would run into a lot of thermal issues and overheating and different problems like that, which is why they split the battery up. So the reason some companies go a little bit lower as well is because if you're providing more charge, it can be detrimental to the battery health over time as well. I try to find that balance between fast charging and I don't know, like I think if I remember right, this one has 33 watts for charging and it charges in about an hour. So that's lower at 25 watts. You know, going like for like, maybe that charges in like an hour and 15, an hour and 20. But the battery and the charging speed, the battery size and the charging speed, it's most of the story, but also you've got software optimization and different things, you know, they can do as well. So I don't know, I'd agree with you, but I'm also reserving judgment, I guess. Maybe I'm kind of backtracking a little bit, but I'd reserve judgment until I've seen the speed tests. I don't know what they're claiming as the charging speed. Does anyone know that? Has everyone seen the charging speed of the S21 range? I don't know. It is a fair point, though. This is always something that I think I'd like to see move forward. I will say, though, in comparison to the you know, Apple iPhones, etc., I do like that you know, across the board, the battery sizes here are pretty decent. You've got 4,000 for the cheapest one, 4,800 and 5,000, you know, practically the same, and you'll get good battery life with that. Bear in mind, of course, to this date and forevermore, Samsung always put bloatware into their phones, all these fitness apps, all these apps that you just can't remove. You can force stop, you know in Android you can force stop an application, but then when you restart your phone, these things normally start back up. There's probably an Android application to fix that right enough, but yeah, it's a little bit annoying. Hugh, these Samsung phones look amazing. Tempted to buy one, however, my S8 is serving me perfectly. So I really don't need to upgrade at the moment. Yeah, well, I mean, you'd get a nice new phone, no, but yes, I agree. If you don't need to upgrade. Sam, the only thing that puts me off with Samsung is that they're insanely filled with bloatware. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realise you'd actually said that, Sam. Sorry, I go off in a mad rant and I don't catch up with the comments. Yeah, looks like we're reading from the same page. Good to see another Scottish person doing well. Yeah, there's not a lot of us out there really on YouTube. We're a rare breed. They're a rare breed. I like to see people on YouTube that aren't normally where you would expect. Like on YouTube, most high YouTubers, you know, popular YouTubers, they've got very posh English accents, or they're from America or somewhere like that. And I always find it great when I see someone from Liverpool or Newcastle or Birmingham, or just someone with a slightly different accent. It's always good to see that. Right, so let's jump back. This is the longest specification review ever. I'm taking my time. I'm going on a lot of tangents, but we'll get there. So here's the battery. I was trying to scroll up to the page to see that, but this is the battery here. 4,000 for the smallest, for the 6.2 inch phone, 4,800, and then 5,000. And then you've got 128, 256, and the Ultra has 512. Now, they don't have a micro SD card option, which is, by the sounds of it, is going to annoy a lot of Samsung owners, because Samsung phones always had micro SD cards. When Apple and a lot of other companies removed it, they stuck to it, and you know, they didn't remove the micro SD card, the SD card slot. So I guess it's no surprise at this point. To me, this is less of an issue for me now than it would have been a few years ago, because, you know, years ago I used to store all my music on the micro SD card slot, and I'd store the videos that I recorded on there as well, but I've certainly not found me using more than 128. You know, 128 to me is more than enough at this point, you know, as far as the OS, the video files, and then all my music and everything. Most things are getting synced online now. This actually has 256, but it really is wasted on me. I'm not going to be using it on this phone. Maybe thinking to get a Samsung A52. Yeah, the Samsung A range is probably the better value, generally speaking, and they always have good phones as well. I use a VPN to watch Kev. Nicola blocked English people watching Scottish. Yeah, she's not got a good reputation right now. Outside of Scotland, even within Scotland. Well, there's a lot of people that love her for what she's doing, and there's a lot of people hate her. I think that's par for the course right now with the lockdown restrictions, etc. S21 is plastic back. Glass will look more premium. Where do you guys stand on that as far as, you know, plastic back and all that? There's a Geordie here. Good to see. I used to work with a few people from Newcastle, so it's always good when I see someone from Newcastle. Plus, obviously, I've been down for loads of stag do's. I'll tell you one thing, Newcastle have an impressive stadium. That's a really nice stadium. We went to the Alan Shearer testimonial years ago, and we managed to get into, we had tickets for like then what do you call it, the hospitality. So we saw the goalkeeper and that kind of, we talked to all the players. Really impressive stadium, the way they've got it. St James's Park. It's quite close to the city centre as well. It's weird though, but there's kind of like one part of it is just like a mega stand. But it's a great atmosphere. Really enjoyed the game. I'll turn this on for a second, which I forgot to do earlier. So the overhead camera should be on. Here we go. So this is my Mi 10T Plus, and I guess this is kind of like it looked plastic to me originally. I don't know if this is glass. It's kind of shiny. The thing about glass for me, I'll bring me back into the world here. The thing that I would say about glass is that it does look better, but you can see even here is things like this do become a fingerprint magnet as well. And from a usability point of view as well, when you put these things into a case, it's kind of irrelevant anyway how good it looks at the back. Put it back in here. But I'd also say as well, just from a reliability point of view, if you're not going to use it, as a case, I know there's been a lot of advancements over the last few years with Gorilla Glass, anti-scratching, etc. But it's still another point of failure. And look at iPhones. How many repair shops just focus specifically on repairing the back glass on an iPhone, or repairing the front glass? I don't know whether you guys stand on that. It's not something that puts me off a phone, I'll say that. I'm always impressed when I see a phone and the build quality looks great. And when I saw the iPhone 12, I was like, wow, that looks stunning. It's just such a premium build. But when you stick it in a case anyway, that kind of gets lost anyway after a while. Try empty as everyone runs out to check they still have their wheels. The Scottish League should merge in with the English Championship League. They did talk about that. Yeah, they talked about that. I don't know how the logistics of that would work. I'll take plastic if the price reflects it, not at £769. Yes, I mean, well, that's the other argument. That's the other argument that, if you're spending that kind of money, then you really should get a better build quality. What we'll probably see, Samsung are definitely at the higher end of the market now. Their A range is maybe middle of the market, I would say. And then you've got Xiaomi at the bottom. What I'd say about, one of the reasons I like Xiaomi phones is really just because of the best bang for your buck. Now, the Mi 11 is out already, and there's reviews coming out from some YouTubers, and we'll see some other reviews in the next few weeks. But we'll probably see the Mi 11 Pro coming out, or the Mi 11 whatever, Premium or Pro, whatever, coming out in a few months as well. The Mi 11 Pro will definitely have one of the best screens of the year, best battery life. It will be one of the best phones of the year, but it will probably be £500 retail when it comes out, and maybe even £400 when it goes on sale a couple of months later. And it's important to remember that, because really the Samsung S21 Plus will be very similar to the Mi 11 Pro. And I'm not saying you shouldn't rush out and spend a lot of money on a Samsung phone, but very good point. If you're spending $769, that's for the 128 version as well. If you're spending that kind of money, maybe you should get a premium build. But I don't know. I can go either way on that, as far as plastic not breaking as easily, etc. Did Apple not remove the Gorilla Glass from an iPhone 12? I can't remember actually. I had the iPhone 12 mini for 2 weeks, and then I returned it because the battery life was horrific. Yeah, the Mi 11 looks nice. I'd rather they put the money into build quality and specs rather than curb appeal. I don't care how my phone looks to either me or anyone else. Just be good at what it does. Just be good at what you do. Well, build quality. It can mean many different things. If you look at build quality from a visual point of view, iPhones look stunning. A lot of phones look really great. But then if you talk about build quality some of the iPhones that did look amazing, they scratched easily, the glass smashed easily and all that. Certainly, going back the last few years. So whilst it does look good, are you talking about how it looks visually, or are you talking about design quality? I mean, if you talk about build design quality, maybe some of the plastic phones should be ahead. But it's not just that as well. If you're thinking about long term, one of the things that we really should be looking at, and I say this a lot in videos, I would like to have bigger batteries in phone, and this is something I'd like to see more. And I'm actually at the point now where I'm like, stop focusing on the camera. Yes, the camera's great, but really the camera's at a point now where I'm not going to say good enough, but I would rather they spent more time giving more battery life, moving the battery technology forward, maybe spending more time in the battery than the camera or whatever. And even, I'd put that even ahead of high refresh rates, in certain situations. But I'd also like to see more repair options. If you look at these teardowns, like Jerry Rig Everything, etc. If you look at these teardowns, these phones are horrific to actually fix. They're unrepairable. And phones shouldn't be designed that way. Phones, in my opinion, should be designed the way that if the battery is broke, you just take it out. If you saw my Pocophone F2, the connector for the Type-C charging port to the motherboard was broke. I should be able to just lift that back open and just replace it with a £10 part myself so that my phone isn't away for a month. But these phones aren't designed like that anymore. And I don't agree with this argument that they can't be designed like that anymore. They're not being designed like that because they're, it's planned obsolescence. They want you to simply throw your phone away after a year or two. So I don't know. Depends how you view build quality. The Mi 11 Pro will be a great competitor to the S12 series, yeah. Well, the Mi 11, I would say, is a rival for the S21, the base model. iPhones are hard to repair. I think most phones are hard to repair now, to be honest. Very few of these phones actually get a good rating. Rather than say use expensive glass in the back, put a practical back on and use the money saved to, say, increase the memory that you need and use more than a fancy looking glass back. It's difficult though. I mean, I like, for me, yes, and I suspect for most people watching this, yes, but I guess maybe everyone watching this video right now, they care more about specs and features than anything else, whereas a very large percentage of the country just looks at a phone and went, oh, that looks nice, I'll take that. So companies are in a position now where, do they go down the visual route and just kind of do a fancy, good-looking phone, or I don't know. Back in the Sony Walkman days, I had so many Sony Ericsson phones. In fact, I think I had an Ericsson phone. I had Sony phones and had Ericsson phones, and then I had Sony Ericsson phones. I had a lot of Sony Ericsson phones, especially in the early 2000s. I must have had like a switch between Nokia and Sony Ericsson for like about 6 years. I must have had about 5 or 6 Sony Ericsson ones. I had one of the Sony Walkman ones I bought in Bangkok actually in 2003. that's how old my ass is. I don't think I would get the Mi 11. I think I would go for the Pro. I'm really happy with this phone though. I will say that I'm really happy with it. Front camera's not a big improvement over the F2 Pro, but battery life and the screen and all that. I'll do a video about this next week when I get a chance. Maybe towards the end of next week. Pixel 5 or 4a is really easy to repair, according to Jerry Rig. Right. Well, here's the thing now. Do you buy a Pixel 5 or 4a because it's easy to repair when it's effectively twice the price of other phones that have got the same specs? Do you know what I mean? I like the fact that Google says it's easier to repair. I don't know how good Google are to deal with from a returns point of view. I had a Google, what one did I have? I had a Google Nexus. I think I had a Nexus phone years ago. I can't remember which model I had. But I don't imagine Google are good with customer returns. If my emails to them over the last 20 years of, is anything to go by. I use Google products for a lot of things, and customer support is next to non-existent. If I had any major problem with my YouTube channel, any kind of horrific problem, I'm on my own. That's kind of the deal with Google, but I don't know if that's different with their phone department and all that. Let's jump back over. S Pen works with the Ultra, so that's, I guess it's been marketed as a Note equivalent. And you've got a very poor trade-in deal, I am sure. An additional £550. Yeah, good luck getting that. Good luck. In fact, let's take a closer look at this. Let's do it. Let's go on a tangent. Let's see whether you can get this £550. It's probably like something like trading your house. How it works. Tell us about your device, right? What we go for here, right? Let's say you're swapping in a smartphone, right? What's it worth? We check prices, a full list of phones that qualify for trade-in, right? Let's see what we've got here. So a Galaxy Fold 5G, £600, right? So if you're not aware of this phone, £600 sounds like a great exchange. £600. Bear in mind, this phone still sells at £1,800 from Samsung themselves. So they want you to buy it brand new at £1,800, right? £1,800 brand new. And they're offering £600, right? iPhone 11 Pro Max, 256 gigabytes, right? So £500, fine. But I mean, that is still an expensive phone. I mean, when that came out, that was like the best part of 1200 or something. I guess it's not worth as much now. This is maybe a little bit of a better exchange. Yeah, maybe that's a fairer exchange, but £600 for the Fold 2? Jesus, that's... okay, some of these seem a little bit better. OnePlus 8 Pro 128, yeah, that's a little bit better. Broken Phone 75, cracked screen 75. Google Pixel 4 XL 350. What other models have we got here? Galaxy Note 10. It's weird how that. Why is this table reading like down the way? And oh, right, it's because it's the same price, right? Sorry, I'm being an idiot. £200 for an S10 Plus. That's pretty poor, I would say. I mean, you know yourself, if you go to eBay, you'll get a lot more for your S10 Plus than that. I know S20 is a newer phone. Do they have the S20? What do it? S20, yeah, S20, £200. Yeah, that's awful. £200 for an S20. Yeah, that's awful. That's absolutely awful. Do not trade your phone in. Please do not trade your phone in. Google phones are basically HTC phones. They bought them over though. HTC split, because I think HTC made one of their phones, one of the Pixels, and then Google bought half of HTC, and half of HTC remained as HTC, and the other half were absorbed into Google. So yeah, they've kind of diverged. I don't know if they still got some sort of partnership with them in any sense. I don't know. I was very disappointed with HTC with the phone I had. What was it, 2 years ago? I had that one with the Sense, which was actually quite a cool feature where you squeeze the phone and you could like load up an voice assistant, etc. Terrible phone. As far as great phone, the battery life died after 6 months. It got decimated to like 30-40% of what it used to be after a software update. There was never any other software update, and Carphone Warehouse were just terrible when I asked to exchange it. So I just sold it. I just cut my losses. It was terrible though. Like, there was no software updates. This was a premium phone. It was like £600 odd. Very disappointing. I wouldn't get the Pixel 4 XL over the Pixel 5, even though the Pixel 4 XL has a bad front design. Sorry, I'll reread that. I'd rather get the Pixel 4 XL right over the 5. The Pixel 5, well, the Pixel 4 XL would probably be more powerful, wouldn't it? Because that had a Snapdragon CPU, like 855 was it, or 865? Probably 855, I believe. The Fold 512 is 580. Was that the original? Is that the original Fold? Yeah, that would be the original Fold, wouldn't it? I'm going to just jump to the specs. I'll jump to... Hold on. So... Hold on now, just want to quickly check something here. Where is that? Where is that? Well, there we go. I was so close to buying that phone. The HTC phone review was actually how I found you. Ah, right, okay. Yeah, well, I liked the phone. I did like the phone. The camera was good. It was more about the fact that the battery died and then there was no software updates ever, which is unacceptable for a phone that you paid several £100s for. Like 2 or 3 updates. There was like one update just after launch, and then I think there was one update at the December, like 6 months later, and that's the one that killed the phone. There was no bug fixes. Nothing. Oops, I'm hearing myself in stereo there. No problem, Ultra. I've realised you've changed your name to Saucy Ultra. I don't know how I feel about that. The Pixel 5 is 855. Ah, right, yeah. I was thinking it couldn't be the 865 because that was last year. Right, so I'm just going to quickly look at the specs comparison. So I've kind of got it back to front. Well, this what I would say is the right way. I've got the S21, the cheapest option here on the left. Then I've got the S21 Plus, and then I've got the S21 Ultra. And you can see the Amazon prices down here. The 128 is $769 on Amazon, $949 for the Plus version, and then a whopping $1,149. Like, this is... all of these prices are very iPhone 12 territory. They're all iPhone 12 territory. So this is... certainly from a price point of view, it's been marketed as an iPhone 12 alternative. So we just kind of go down here. Is there any features I'm missing here? That's the same UFS 3.1. That's 3.x. I assume it's 3.1 as well, surely. Xenos 2100 chip, or 2100. Right, so you can see the different camera sensors here. You've got a 10 megapixel a dual 10 megapixel telephoto. That's the kind of biggest difference with telephoto. And then the main sensor here, this is a 64 megapixels for the telephoto instead of dual 10 megapixels. But the wide angle here is 108 against 12. The thing is, megapixels really don't tell you the full story, ever. They really don't. Other than, what you can kind of blow it up to. The video recording is quite interesting though, because you can do 8K at 24, 4K at 60. But you can do 4K at 60 with the front camera as well, and 4K at 30. No headphone jack. That's boo for that. It really is kind of going down the iPhone route there, and that's what I'm saying. Like the Samsung range now, price-wise, same as iPhones. They did a marketing campaign criticising Apple about leaving out the adapter, which I believe they've quickly retracted because they have now removed the phone as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. You might know this, Time to Unbox. You might know this better than me, but I believe they have removed the headphones from the box. I realise they're running a Galaxy Pro Bud deal right now, which is good. That's not something you get with Apple, but I believe they've taken out the power adapter from the box. I believe so. And I'm sure they ran a campaign criticising Apple. I'm sure they've done that a few times. Samsung have done that a few times where they've criticised Apple for doing something, like removing the micro SD card or doing whatever. And then they've come out and done the same thing, like a year down the line. Specs are kind of par for the course. There's no surprises here, really. If you look at it here, there's no major surprises here. But the Samsung S21 to me looks like a very, visually it looks like a really nice phone. Hits all the markers for a good phone for 2021 as far as it's got a good battery size, good battery life. I guess a negative is the price, but that has been the price of Samsung phones for the last few years. But yeah, this, to me, the biggest negative with these Samsung phones would be the price. I would like to see them cheaper, of course, but it's the same for iPhones. And the bloatware. That's my biggest concern with every Samsung phone. The price and the bloatware. It really is. Now, as far as prices go, we can jump over to Hot UK deals. But I just want to quickly check. Whilst I've got a few on, I might as well do a sponsorship. So while we're here, you can see Time to Unbox is commenting. Please do give him a subscribe, which I am subscribed to, but I'm not signed in right now. This is my Firefox browser. Give him a subscribe. Show him some love. If you're enjoying this live stream, he covers the same topic. He's talking about phones, and I think, what was it? I saw your tweet the other day. You had like 6 or 7 phones or something. I've only got like 1 phone right now. You've got like 6 or 7. So show him some love. Check him out. I'm sure you'll enjoy him. Hi Don. Met a Samsung US employee at my job, and he says the FE 2021 will be the same price as last year's FE. What was the FE last year, Don? I remember the Samsung. What was the FE? If I remember right, I'm guessing at this point a little bit, but I'm sure it was at like 600 range in the UK. God knows what it's going to be like after Brexit. Who knows? Stick an extra few zeros on it. 699. Yeah, maybe it was about 650 in the UK then. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, it's kind of a smart strategy with Samsung anyway. Having the premium range and then having the upper range, but just one below. It kind of makes sense because Samsung are a company that cover the whole market. One of the reasons that you'll see that Samsung have such a big share of the market, one of the reasons they've got such a big share is that they cover everything from phones that cost $10 up to $1,200. There's not any part of the market, no price range that Samsung do not cover. They cover absolutely everything. Now that's in contrast to Apple and their iPhone range. Certainly it's changing a little bit now, but a few years ago, if you looked at any of the kind of sales reports for the best selling phones, it would have been like iPhone with 50%, and then Samsung was only like, a Samsung S9 or something might have only been like 5%, 10%. But the actual sales volume of Samsung was the opposite, just because they have such a wide collection of phones. It's changing a little bit now because Apple have obviously got the iPhone 12 mini, the 12, the 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max, and then they've got the SE range, and they've got their older phones as well. So they're not going down that route, but Apple are trying to kind of fill in the gaps a little bit as well. And they'll never be lower end Apple, but from the middle to the top end now, they're trying to fill in every kind of price point. That's what they're trying to do, because they've realised that Samsung and other companies are making a lot of money, and it seems silly for them to leave money on the table. So there are some deals out here. Well, this one, right, so for the benefit of those of you who don't know, right, so this is Hot UK Deals, and Time to Unbox, who's watching, is actually Mr. Switch on Hot UK Deals, and he's posted this deal. It's a really good deal. I'd actually feel more comfortable paying that price, quite a big, reduction, about 10% or whatever. Employee, student, is that Samsung employees and then students? What's that deal? Is it you have to be a Samsung employee? I don't know. But it's interesting to see that all the deals coming out, that if you pre-order, you will get the earbuds and you get that Samsung tag as well. You can see it there, Galaxy Buds and the smart tag through Samsung. So then you get 4 months free YouTube Premium as well. I suspect, are they doing a similar deal? Do you know, Don, if you're watching, do you know if they're doing a similar deal in the USA? I realize that a large percentage of my audience is actually based in the USA, and I do try and cover prices sometimes and talk about the American figures and all that as well, but obviously gravitate towards the British websites just because those are the websites I'm checking myself. Where would you normally buy a phone in the USA? Is there like an equivalent to Hot UK Deals? In fact, let's check this out. Samsung USA. Let's see if I can find anything. Just for the benefit of Don and anyone else from the USA who's tuning in. From $500 with... No, okay, that's with a trade-in. Give us the real price. See this from 500. Just tell us the price without a trade-in. Without a trade-in. I don't want to see the trade-in price. Just tell me the real price. I mean, I know the American phone market is very different to the UK as far as how they price things and the contracts and different things. Right. Okay. So this one, yeah, right, okay. So I need to look at this is annoying, but you need to look at the price here with the line through it. So it's $800 for the S21. It's $1,000 for the S21 Plus, and then it's $1,200 for the Ultra. Not that different really to UK prices. Very, very similar. Not that different at all. Carrier deals or Amazon. I mean, the shop, whenever I went to America, the shop I always ended up going to was Best Buy, just because Best Buy was everywhere. But for someone in the UK, it was always perplexing with the fact that, you know, you'd go to like here in the UK, right? Obviously, we do have a tip system, you know, in restaurants and different things. In America, you'll pay and then you'll pay your tax. You'll pay your tip at the end, you know, of a meal. But it's a kind of similar story when you go to buy something. I remember buying a portable Sony Vaio laptop in 2004 or 5 in the USA. So it was like $3,000. But it's funny, you go to the counter and you're like, okay, it's, you know, $2,800 say, and then you go through and it's like 3,100. Then you're like, what? And then you forget that they add the tax at the end. So all the prices you see in the shop are before tax. Whereas everywhere else, well, certainly in Europe and, you know, most places nearly everywhere in the world, really, when I think about it, everywhere in the world is the price you see with the sticker on it, the big banner, that is the price you pay. It's just a different way of doing it, but it took me a while to wrap my head around, right, I need to add 8% and then you cross the border, no, it's 10% there or whatever. Hi, Tony. Wonder if those US prices still need a local sales tax. That's a good question, actually, Tony. I suspect if you're buying online, maybe Don can tell us better, but I suspect if you buy something on an American store online, that includes a tax. Because, you know, local tax isn't applicable because you're not buying it from a shop. I thought that's a good question, actually. Keystone text, a Samsung series, way to go. Students and perks at work kind of thing. Oh, right, okay. No, the reason I was asking that, Time Turnbox, I really need to start calling you by name. The reason I'm asking that is because my wife works for the NHS, and, you know, right now, certainly with what's going on with the pandemic, there's lots of deals for her. You know, if you work for the NHS, you can get a discount and different things, so I'll maybe check that out for her. Taxis are put in after. So Don, could you explain to us, this is quite interesting for me actually, you know, anywhere in the UK, you might find it interesting. So like I was saying, in the USA, you buy it and then they add tax. So Don is saying they put the taxes in after. So my question is, if you buy something in New York or New Jersey or Illinois or anywhere, they will add on the tax later. But how do they determine the tax when you buy it online? Is it where that shop is located, or is it where you're located? My guess is it's if you live in California, for example, you'll pay the Californian tax rate. Is that how it would work? That would make more sense. For the state you live in. Right, okay. So if you're buying a gift for someone, you'd have to pay the tax for the state that person is in. It's so different. Like in the UK, literally everywhere else I've been in the world, it's the price you see is the price you pay. I can't think of any countries in Asia or Australia or South America or, you know, anywhere in Europe that I've been to. I can't think of anywhere where you pay tax, you know, additionally. It's actually the opposite. You see the price and then you get your receipt and it said, you know, like $50 of this was tax, and you're like, what do I care? Right, whatever. It's like an afterthought. So you never really have to think about it. So I spoke about this at the start of the live stream, and I know some people have only tuned in, but I'm not going to be buying this phone myself, but my wife's got a Samsung S9 or 10, I think, and she's due an upgrade, and she liked the look of these phones. So there is a good chance she'll get this. So there is a chance I'll be able to get my hand on it. And at least, I don't know if I'll be able to get out and do videos or anything like that, but I'll at least be able to do a video and just give you my first impressions of the screen and you know, usability and all that. So I'll hopefully have a look at it all in the future. Hopefully. It looks good. Like I said, I do like Samsung Galaxy phones. I just don't like how much bloatware is in it. I don't like all the crap on it. I don't know if they fixed the Bixby thing. You know, that was the other thing. This sounds like it's such a petty reason to give back a phone. But I had the S10 Plus, was it? A year and a half ago, the S10 Plus. And what I hated about it was the power button location. And it sounds so petty. It sounds such a stupid reason to give a phone back, but it annoyed the hell out of me. So, like, see, like the Xiaomi V10T Pro, right? So the fingerprint sensor is actually here in the power button, right? And I'm doing it back to front, but this fingerprint sensor here is absolutely excellent. Love it. And you can obviously, put different fingers here. Now, but generally speaking, what I like about the Xiaomi phones is the power buttons here. The Samsung phones, I'm going to have to check this now that I've said this, but the Samsung phones, they've put the power button like way up here. So instead of doing like that, you have to do like this to turn it on and off. And it drove me crazy. It absolutely drove me crazy. I don't know why they put it there. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's designed for people that have got, that play basketball or something, they've got massive hands. But for a regular person with carny hands like me, having the power button way up high like that just drove me nuts. I'm going to have to look at the gallery now. Let's see if I can find out exactly. Let's see if we can find out where that power button is, because this is something I should have looked at earlier. Where is the power button? Let's see. Let's do a little 360 here. I don't know if you get, like, I know a lot of you have had Samsung phones in the past, but the power button being in that position always annoyed me. So it looks a little bit lower. Looking at this here, it looks a little bit lower here. Before it was really, really high. Honestly, it was very, very annoying. Very, very annoying. It was just un-user friendly. By the looks of it, they removed the Bixby thing as well. That was another thing that they used to have as well. I'm sure you guys are aware of that. That Samsung, they had the power button up high, but also over here you had the voice assistant button, Bixby. Now the problem they had was you couldn't disable it. And then like after like 3 years of people complaining, they said, okay, you can disable it. But you couldn't repurpose it. Like you couldn't say launch the camera. You couldn't do anything like that. You just had this button there that did nothing. Did nothing once you disabled it. And again, this is another part of Samsung and their bloatware, trying to force you down one route of this is what we want you to use Bixby, so there's a button and you can't remove it. So yeah, there was just little things like that with the Samsung experience. I just didn't like it. It was more the kind of Apple way of this is how you do it, which is maybe why a lot of Apple users move to Samsung when they switch over to Android. Samsung went out like suckers with Apple lollipop in their mouths. Well, they've obviously did their market research and they realised that there is a market for premium phones. I mean, one of the things, you'll see it here at the top here, and this is the same in the UK. One of the things that I hate is this, see at the top here. See that? 36 months. Can you guys see it? No, you can't see it. I'm highlighting something you can't see. I apologise. See what I've highlighted here? Go away. Here. That to me is the worst thing about phone contracts. I remember when every single phone was a 12-month contract. Granted, phones at that time only cost, like 50 to like 300, and then prices slowly went up and up and up and up and up. When they went to 2-year contracts, I went, no, that's it. I'm out. I'm not doing a 2-year contract out of general principle. I change my phone every year. I'm not doing a 2-year contract. And now they've got 3-year contracts, which to me is ridiculous because most phones don't have a battery that will actually last 3 years. So yeah, I don't like that. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like that. And all it is, the reason these companies do 3 years is not because they want to tie you into a 3-year contract. It's because the phones are so damn expensive now, like $1,000, $1,200, that to make these, appealable to the general public, to make them affordable to everyone, they have to spread that cost over 3 years. But it's crazy, 3 years. That's really what you should be getting, to pay back a car loan. And you're talking about a phone which you could lose down the toilet in a crazy night out. So I don't know. I don't like that. They're now using the new Qualcomm on-screen fingerprint sensor, apparently much improved. I thought the on-screen fingerprint sensor was a lot better last year, and every phone that I tried last year, the fingerprint sensor was better. I still think the fingerprint sensor on the back and the button, the power button, much better, so much better. Because the on-screen one, I found a lot of time, say for example, we're in a pandemic, you wash your hands after using the toilet, and then you come out and then try to use the phone, and then you put your finger on it, and if your hand's still a little bit wet, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work, so you'd have to use the number. So just little things like that. It just wasn't as user-friendly. I don't understand why phones can't have dual fingerprint. Why can't you have on-screen display and a fingerprint sensor in the button? Like, these parts aren't expensive, really. Not really. You're talking like an extra 50 pence or a dollar, another dollar part from China to put in there, and they could probably charge an extra £20 for that. But I don't know. Do United Kingdom get the red one? Colours wise, yes, we do, but I think it's only, so you can see some of the colours here. We appear to be getting the same colour range in the UK, right? But if you look at models here, to get the red, so the standard for the S21 Plus, for example, it's only you can only get these additional colours for the S21 Plus, and you've got Phantom Violet, Black, and Silver, but then the Rose Gold or Phantom Gold and the Red, they're only available if you order from Samsung.com. So they're offering exclusives. I don't know if they're going to offer different colours exclusively through, different phone companies and all that. Companies like Carphone Warehouse and, other companies like that sell phones directly to the public in the UK. I'm not sure they get as many exclusive deals as they used to. I'm not sure, but they used to get, you had to buy this phone from that carrier to get a particular colour. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Normally, Xiaomi, I can never pronounce it. So many people pronounce this differently. I don't even know what's the right way to say it anymore. But Xiaomi kind of beat Samsung to the market a little bit with the Mi 11. Maybe not locally though. By the time the Samsung S21 is out, I'm not sure if the Mi 11, this isn't the Mi 11, but I'm not sure if the Mi 11 will actually be out in the UK or North America by the time the S21 is out. But Samsung are normally the first company to release the new phone of the year, the new generation. And then we, a couple of months down the line, we start seeing the usual suspects like Sony and, different companies release phones. So I do think Samsung have come out with a good phone here. It's just damn expensive in my opinion. It's definitely iPhone territory. Definitely. And the thing is as well, again, price doesn't matter to a lot of people, but when you look at, if you bought a Samsung S20 last year, oh, that's the Note 20 actually, or the Note, if you bought one of their £1,000 phones 1 year ago, they're giving you £200 trade-in. That's insane. That is insane to me. That is insane. To give away a phone that's still worth about 500 second hand and to trade it in for 200. I mean, who is actually participating in that scheme? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, if your phone is out of warranty, it's a broken phone, £75, that's a good deal. I would say that's a good deal. If you've got a phone that's out of warranty, it's a complete brick, and it costs you 200 to get fixed, and it's not worth 200 to fix, maybe that's good. But my guess is if you send them in an old broken Nokia or an old brick phone, they will just send it back and say, sorry, you owe us £75 for the rest of this phone. But I don't know. Right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this look and the many tangents that I've been on today. This look at the Samsung S21 range. Does look like an interesting phone. I do like what they've done. Good battery life, gorgeous design. Looks like the camera's really good. Good battery as well. I don't know what the charging's like. I think that was a valid point that HL raised earlier on in the comment area. He said that 25 watts is disappointing. I'll reserve judgment on that until I see what the total charge time is, because I don't think I saw anything here as far as charge time. I don't see it. No, I don't see anything in GSM Arena. I would say right now, what I want from a flagship phone is an hour to charge it fully. That's what I want. That's kind of what I've got used to. I did get the Realme phone that charged its mega battery up in like 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes. I think anything at the hour mark is basically where I want, certainly a flagship phone. That's where a flagship phone should be. 1 hour to charge it, you're good to go. I want fast charging. So 25 watts, it could be a negative against the Samsung range. It could be, but it really does depend on optimization, software, etc. Hopefully it is quick at charging though. I do like the phone though. There's a lot of positives there to be taken. I would definitely say, and Time to Unbox will know this himself, he's got better examples of this, but certainly as far as which companies are driving things forward, there's a lot of Chinese companies just doing crazy things with phones, just trying different things, and then a couple of years down the line we're starting to see them kind of dribble down into the mainstream phones. And it's good to see Samsung come out now, and now they've got a high refresh rate, the 120 hertz, they've got a good sized battery, cameras are good as always, it's got a nice design. It's just quite expensive, and they will have rammed all their crappy apps into the phone as well, which is something I would like them to change as well. But does look like a good phone, That's my kind of overall summary, my prediction of these phones, which I've not used yet. Right guys, I'm going to call it quits at this point. Thanks for watching guys, thanks for watching. I've actually got another video to do, another unboxing, which I'm going to record and then edit and schedule for a few days. That is part of my PC build. So tomorrow I've got an unboxing of my graphics card, which I've got that published and scheduled for tomorrow. Then I've got, I'm going to record a video today, which will schedule for Sunday, about the different, the storage and the all-in-one cooler, which I'm going to use for my PC build. And then I've got a video coming about this microphone. But my plan this weekend, my hope is that I can start building my PC. It's just taking so much longer because I'm actually recording the process and then editing those videos as well. But stay tuned guys, if you're interested in computers at all, please stay tuned for that. I'll be building up my PC and I'll have a more efficient workstation. That is trading in a Pixel 4 XL against the Note 20, Kev. Am I completely reading that? Am I reading that wrong then? Am I completely reading that wrong? We check prices, right? So what's it saying here? That is trading in a Pixel 4X against the Note 20. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Because you're not going to trade in broken phone. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading that table wrong. I don't know. Who knows? We'll leave that as a mystery. Thanks for joining in, guys. Thanks for commenting. Without you guys, this would be an absolute boring live stream. So I do appreciate all the comments, because this is how live streams have to be. I need to react to what you guys say. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll try and do a live stream at one point, maybe hopefully next week, at the end of next week, but I'll see, because I've got a lot of other work on, and I'm building the PC, so I've got a lot of other videos, but stay tuned for that. I've got some more videos planned this weekend. But thanks for dropping by, guys, and once again, another shout out. Oops. I'll get this in before I leave. Another shout out to Time to Unbox. Be sure to give him a subscribe. Check out his videos. He's covering a lot of phones which I've not covered. He's kind of filling all the gaps that I leave in the phone market. I am only kind of touching upon what's going on in the phone world, but he's covering a lot of different phones which I've not covered. Samsung Galaxy A range, Mi 10T Lite, etc. So show him some love, say hello, and I'll speak to you guys later on. So until next time, guys.